Hello, welcome to the Founders Roundtable. Today here we are with the CEO and founder of Jipay. Karibu sana, Mr. Ndirangu.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you.
Pleasure is mine.
Yes. So tell us about the CEO and his background and the idea of how Jipay was actually born.
All right. I've spent many years in financial services, about 24 years.
Wow.
Talking to professionals, encouraging them to save and invest their money. And so that is what I do. And that is what I'm passionate about. That is what I would do. And I would even do it for free. And Jipay is a fintech. And the big idea is to automate savings, to enable people to overcome the discipline of saving. Yeah, and how we do it, it's each and every time you spend. Say you go to a supermarket and you spend 1,000 shillings.
Yes.
So out of that 1,000 shillings, 10% of what you have spent, 100 shillings, will be saved into wallet, and this is happening automatically. So in that particular expense will have cost you 1,100 shillings.
Plus
so
10%.
Absolutely. So yeah, 10% being the 100 on top. So basically what we're looking at is for people to just carry on with life as you're moving along your day and doing this and that. 10% is being saved. So at the end of the day, you'll find that, probably that day you saved 400 bob, So removing the human interest. So it's something that is happening on the background. And the idea is, why when you're spending? Because when you're spending, you have the money.
Yes.
Yeah. So where did the idea come from? It was an idea straight from God.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a believer in God. I'm very spiritual, and in August 2019, I woke up, and that was the idea that had been placed to me, and I was wishing, it was the longest night.
Wow.
I needed people to wake up so that I can, talk about it. But so that has been the journey, and that is what we're aiming to do. We're aiming to enable people to save as they spend.
Wow.
Save as you spend.
Wow. So I think I understand the point of where Jipay is now coming from.
Correct.
But again, we have a very huge challenge in terms of creating a culture of savings within the nation.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of institutions who are actually fostering that.
Right.
From government institutions like Post Bank. We have Zamara, which is a pension fund institution.
Correct.
We have other circle societies.
Right.
Is there a line you think Jipay can actually work in line with also those institutions to actually bring on board as many individuals as we can in terms of creating a culture of savings for the nation?
Absolutely. Very good observation. And we are not working in isolation to these people that you're talking about.
Yes.
In fact, our channels, or we work with banks.
Yes.
We work with telecom companies with mobile money wallets.
Wow.
And as well as SACCOs.
Wow.
And the reason is, Nur, I don't know, you may have read about border SACCOs.
Yes.
There's one in Kitengela, one in Nanyuki, one in Moranga, where these guys have been able to save 100 bob a day, and they're able to build homes.
Wow. Wow.
So the proof of concept is already there.
Yes.
With those three borders, and this is something that is open source. One can Google and see. So if they've been able to do that, and it is a manual savings, so how much more if it was something that was happening automatically in the background? So working with banks, we're already in different points of conversations with the top tier banks and even microfinance institutions. And they've embraced the idea.
Yes.
And for some, we're integrating as we speak the solution to enable those bank customers, as they're spending off using the ATM to spend or pulling money from bank to M-Pesa,
Yes.
they'll be able to save in that manner.
Yes.
So we're working in, we look forward even to the government because like central bank has brilliant solutions.
Wow.
Like there's Treasury Mobile Direct, where you're able to buy bonds, using 1,000 shillings, 500 shillings.
Yes.
But all these solutions, and there are many, including pension solutions like the one you mentioned, they're there, but they lack one thing: the discipline to save into it. And that is the gap we have innovated around.
Yes.
And that is a gap that we are aiming to solve. And I think at this point it's good, Nuru, to let you know that we own intellectual property for what I'm talking about.
Wow.
In Africa and also in Kenya.
Yes.
And so we partner with banks, we partner with telcos and SACCOs.
Yes.
To mobilize savings by enabling people to save as they spend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from an individual's point of view,
right?
I know if I'm spending cash, you'll be left out.
Yes.
So you basically targeting if I'm using M-Pesa.
Correct.
If I'm also using maybe credit cards. So if I want to enroll from an individual's point of view, and also from an institution's point of view for partnership, how do you go about that?
Okay. Let's talk about the individual. For the individual, we're not allowed. To collect money from the public, you need to be licensed by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Okay.
So as an individual, I will check with my bank and ask if they are offering this Jipay wallet, meaning save as you spend.
Yes.
Some banks, the product is already out there. It's in the marketplace. And or check with my telco provider. So I can tell you, I think at this point we are at an advanced stage of integrating with Telcom.
Yes. Wow.
T-Cash.
Okay.
So any T-Cash wallet in a short while will be able to save everything that you're transacting out of that.
Okay.
For institutions, to partner with us, you can reach out to us on our website, and we'll be really, really glad. So the institutions are mainly banks, commercial banks, microfinance institutions, and SACCOs, because they all are looking at the same thing, which is to mobilize deposits. And I'm saying once you have a trigger, an automatic trigger, then this becomes a painless process.
Yes.
Yes.
So I've spent 1,000 shillings today. And I was able to save 10% of that, which comes to a 1,100 shilling expenditure. That goes to my wallet for Jipay.
Correct.
So what happens in terms of savings benefit from an individual's user? And also, is there any running cost maybe for me to use that service in terms of having a culture for savings?
That's brilliant. So in that example you use, so the 100 is what one has saved or you would have saved. So with banks, we are offering their subscriber an interest, for the saving. It's accessible at any time, should you choose. Yeah. But also it earns an interest for the subscriber. Now, and we want to go beyond there and say, if I'm looking to go on holiday in December, I can do target savings. Yes. Because then I can make sure that my wallet or my savings are going towards Sherehe December, or I'm saving for school fees, so you can do, those are some of the things we shall be doing on the second phase and third phase of the project.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I can really say that this is one of the most convenient savings platform. Yeah. Because people have money. Absolutely. And we spend because we have it. Absolutely. And having that ability to actually save a certain amount while you're actually spending it is a brilliant idea. I really think, do you have maybe something like an app where someone can download and maybe come on board from an individual side? Or?
All right. Very good question. Yeah. And once again, we integrate with banks and telco. So at this point, yes. What I would recommend for anyone considering to automate their savings is to acquire a telecom line. Wow. Why telecom? Because on the Tcash wallet,
Yes.
one will be able to save automatically.
Okay.
In a short while, we have not, initially we must pilot and remove the bags,
Yes.
and then do a soft launch.
Yes.
But even that communication that will be going out to existing
Yes.
Tcash
Yes.
subscribers.
Yes.
So a call to action will be to acquire Tcash, a telecom line, and register for Tcash.
CEO, I think this a call out to make now to maybe institutions who also putting the savings culture out there to individuals.
Right.
From SACCOs to banks to
Right.
pension funds.
Correct.
I really think this is a chance for you guys to also come on board with Jipay, to actually partner up with them and make sure that the savings culture you're actually fostering and pushing for is something that's achieved, while individuals you operate with as members also will be able to save a certain percentage as they spend. What do you think is the biggest challenge in terms of scaling a startup in Kenya?
Also, good question. It's money.
Okay.
Money, Mohammed. And it is very sad.
Yes.
Because we do have capital in this country.
Okay.
But a lot of it is geared towards buildings.
Yes. Yes.
So say somebody has put up a mall.
Yes.
And now they have no tenants. As on the way here, I passed a mall where I know they give away 6 months free rent and things that don't make sense. This mall must have cost about 150, 200 million. So the biggest challenge is people have brilliant ideas. We have brilliant ideas, but we do not have Kenyan capital. And it is sad because we have the money, but we do not have Kenyan capital going to innovation and especially seed funding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of funding, we have seen a recent past where startups in Kenya, I can say around 96% of them are funded depending on maybe the founder or the co-founder being a white guy.
Yeah.
Or we have seen a situation where the founder may have studied outside from Africa. Yeah. What do you have to say about that when it comes to maybe the challenge of actually accessing funds?
It is, once again, first of all, I understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
Because if I was them, and there's a founder and co-founder, and one of the founders went to a school I know.
Yes.
Yes. A university that is familiar to me, or maybe I went there, or my child is there already.
Oh, yes.
Or they speak this English in a way I'm able to understand.
Yes.
Then, I may want to do, because people do business with people they like.
Yes.
And I understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
But the downside to that mentality is that they've missed up on a lot of opportunities, in my view. And I'll say this because being a local, I have local knowledge. I've been born, raised, and lived here in this Kenya. I know my people, I know what works for them, what does not work for them. I have years of specific industry experience.
Yeah.
I may not have gone to a university in the UK or the US, but that does not to say that I don't know my business and how we will succeed.
Sure.
So it is sad, and they've missed out on a lot of opportunities. That is what I can say. But having said that, I also want to flip it because to you who's listening, who has access to capital, and the primary consideration is real estate.
Yes.
There are opportunities to put money in ventures that are going to return 1,000, 10,000 times what went into it. So it is a challenge. I think we need to reflect within ourselves.
Yes.
We already have the real estate. What more can you do? Not another piece of real estate.
Sure.
So this is to the Kenyan owners of capital.
Yes.
And as I say this, I'm also speaking to myself because in a short while, I'll be one of the owners of capital. And I need to come back here and, show you my portfolio where I've risked and burnt and one that has succeeded.
Yes. So there's this, so much outcry, especially on Twitter, startup spaces, and other platforms, that Nigeria is so much ahead of us in terms of startups. We have seen the recent report by YC that out of 24 batch that have actually qualified on the YC for Africa, 18 came from Nigeria. So in terms of our struggle as the Kenyan startups, what do you think we will need to push up and do to actually get there?
That's a very good question.
That relates to, if you see 18 startups, it basically relates to around 80 founders a year from that country. Wow. So you can imagine how big and how far they are really ahead of us. The Kenyan ecosystem is something that's actually so much growing right now. We have a lot of attraction in terms of investors and also in terms of innovation that are going out there. But what do you think from your end and your experience you think we need to do and to push ourselves so that the next batch of 18 out of 24 for YC will come from Kenya? Yes.
Well, Nigeria are, as well, the Nigerians in whole are interesting people.
Yes.
For starters, they outnumber us.
Wow.
Man for man,
wow.
Wow. So even for us to be playing in their league,
yes.
And then it's a really brilliant thing for Kenya, and Kenyans in nature. And for me, that statistics is a nice statistic. Hearing even 18 companies have been funded, out of 24. I hope it was even more, because it's proof of concept, So they are funding Africans, and it is working. And by the way, I don't know, you've noticed, in Nigeria, those startups that we're talking about, majority of them actually Nigerian owned, locally owned.
Yes.
It's only in Kenya where we have white faces as founders and co-founders, and then a company has access to capital. But in Nigeria, so what will we do? First of all, God bless you, Mohammed.
Thank you
for Peer Plan and what you're trying to do, because this is a solution.
Yes.
YC has been there. It's now also being criticized, and they've done a really good job. I think it's time to open up that space.
Sure.
So Peer Plan can reposition YC.
Sure.
And it becomes a platform on which now we also see Tanzanian startups, Rwandese startups, DR Congo startups, because opportunities are there and people are brilliant.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's amazing. I can say that for our Kenyan capital holders, we can create an ecosystem of investors, VCs, angels, so that we have brilliant, amazing innovations and startup founders in Kenya, that we can actually put the money through them. We can do that application through Peer Plan.
Yes.
From the investor's point of view, and also if whatever it is that we are building as a founder, this is a chance that we have, to bring on board a founder who is building into a certain innovation, to actually make sure that they come on board with Peer Plan, so that we hold hands, we scale together, we support each other, and we grow. So on that note, I think it's important to note that support is something important, not just funding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Businesses do not die because of funding, but because they die because of lack of mentorship, and because of the founder actually dying out of the motivation and the energy that actually fired them through to bring about that startup. So do you think there's someone who has been there as a pillar for Ndirangu and also for Jipay, who has been there to actually support the business and give you coaching, tell you the do's and the don'ts to actually scale a startup? Can you give a shout out maybe to one person who you think is supporting the entrepreneurship level in Kenya?
Julian Kula. So Julian Kula is the founder of, it was called MOD.
Okay.
Yeah, mobile decisioning, short MOD.
Yes.
Copa Credo is a product.
Wow.
We know companies by their products.
Yes.
So borrowing airtime.
Yes.
And then they ran it with Airtel.
Yes.
And so it was a fintech, and they took it to 26 different countries around the world, Asia, Europe, and exited. And as we speak right now, they've launched another product, which is a 0% loan. Zero. loan. It's called Faraja. It's running off Safaricom.
Okay.
I can speak about it now because I know it has been launched.
Yes.
And so we spent about 5 months
Yes.
in the Julian Kula School of Startups, if I may call it that.
Yes.
And we did learn a lot.
Wow.
You know, we swam with the sharks.
Yes.
We were hurt. You know, there was some blood that was drawn.
Yes.
But those wounds healed,
Yes.
and we are better.
Yes.
So he's a big name in FINTECH.
Wow.
Because we're in FINTECH, so obviously look up to. Yeah. So him. Yeah. Special shout out.
To
Wow.
Julian that's beautiful.
And the
that's a big
team.
name. It's beautiful. Entrepreneurs bleed and burn out every day, and I think it's important that we support each other.
Yes.
It's important that we hold hands as Kenyan entrepreneurs, and it's important that we acknowledge the kind of innovation and opportunity we are bringing on board to the Kenyan ecosystem. So if today you are given 1 hour to spend with one person who you think can scale Jipay to the next level, okay, who do you think that person will be?
Elon Musk.
Wow.
He's chief disruptor. I mean, who thought we used to send rockets on one-way trips and then they disintegrate? It's such a brilliant idea.
Wow.
Genius is in just the smallest of things, you know, the simplest of ideas.
Yes.
And he figured how to take it and reuse it.
It's a pleasure having you.
Yes.
I will still again tell individuals and other institutions that are fostering about the savings culture in Kenya that a great partnership with Jipay will something that will actually scale and build onto the individuals that we think can grow and have that culture of savings with them. So with Jipay, we say
save as you spend.
Save as you spend.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. So we close up for the founders. We say aim, action,
achievement.
Pleasure.
Asante.
Thank you so much.